Is this thing on? There we go. I'm about 94% sure it's recording. Good afternoon, everybody. It's your neighborhood friendly, and actually, technically, let me rephrase that. Good evening, everyone. It's your neighborhood friendly Scottish whiskey hobbit, broadcasting to you live once again from our grandiose and epic back deck here. I'm very excited for this week's review on the channel, and before I dive into the meat and potatoes of the video review, I just wanted to thank my amazing dad. My father is a big supporter of the channel, as well as a big whiskey nerd like me. I'm hoping to have him on to do a father-son whiskey review in the future. But we did a whiskey exchange, and I gave him some of the Evan Williams single barrel reserve that I'm obsessed with, and he let me borrow this Four Roses here. So thank you, Dad, for letting me review this, for letting me borrow this to review it for the channel. This is the Four Roses single barrel. We've talked a lot about Four Roses off and on over the roughly 6 years I've been doing this YouTube channel. It has a wonderful reputation, and Jim Beam as well as Four Roses have both been bought out by Suntory, the master Japanese distillers. I've talked about that throughout the years. So Four Roses, it's still made in good old Kentucky, but they were bought out the last 12 to 13 years by the master Japanese distillers there. Generally speaking, I'm always a really big fan of single barrel bourbons. And, I figured, what the heck? The only other Four Roses that I have previously reviewed is the Four Roses small batch, and I bought that bottle in 2020, and I have about 15% of it left. It really takes me a long time to go through my good stuff. So yeah, Four Roses, it's made in Lawrenceburg, Kentucky. I'm really excited to try it. I'm battling a bad sinus pressure headache right now. So if I seem a bit cattywampus, that's why. I figure, hey, my allergies are killing me. On top of that, I have a sinus headache. I may have some of nature's medicine, the good old bourbon. Or I should say the Scottish medicine. Yeah, allergies are bad right now, folks. Well, let me dive in here and let's try this, shall we? Let me go to the nose here. Ooh, wow. What a decadent and glorious nose, ladies and gentlemen. This is, I like. So I'm getting some pears, maybe some toasted pecans, maybe some vanilla, and some candied apple. Candied apple, vanilla, maybe toasted pecans, and there's another characteristic that I said that I've forgotten. But a very decadent and a very, very enjoyable, very aromatic nose, ladies and gentlemen. So yeah, maybe some pear. There's flies and sweat beads flying around me here, so forgive I'm out here in nature with all the critters here. It's always an adventure filming out here. And remember, folks, some tips here. When you're drinking alcohol, water. That reminds me, when people come to my house and ask for water, I give them Busch Light, Coors Light, or Michelob Ultra. They're all tasty, but they're so freaking low in alcohol content. I think orange juice has as much alcohol as all three of those beers. Dun-dun-dun. Okay, new writers, that's a new joke here. Alright, well, let me dive into the taste here. You guys are stuck with my Scottish sense of humor. Wow. Wow. I like. So, I talked about this. I've talked about this a lot on this channel, these past 6 years of a channel. This definitely is a... Now again, in order for it to be a bourbon, it has to be at least 51% or more corn in the mash bill. So obviously it's a bourbon, which means it has at least 51% corn in the mash bill. But this is getting that kind of rye spice that moves up into my nose, into the nose. I've talked about that a lot these past 6 years on the channel. And again, this is all subjective. This is my opinion on it. Sorry, some of my neighbors are having way too much fun over there. I love my neighborhood, but it's kind of interesting if you hear that background noise. But I'm getting the rye spice. I'm definitely getting the rye spice. I'm getting cinnamon. I think I'm getting toffee. I think I'm getting pear, toffee, cinnamon, and then maybe roasted pecans or almonds. So it's very decadent. It does a nice little tap dance on the palate, as I like to say. But there's definitely pear, vanilla, cinnamon, I think candied apple, the rye spice. So it's a very good, a very tasty bourbon here. I know I'm very Scottish whenever I suffer from sinus headaches and allergies. You know, why take a Claritin or Allegra when I could have just a wee dram of something nice? Just a wee dram, as they say in the old country. Don't tell anybody, but I'm only roughly 50% Scottish, and I won't do the math right now because it's severely complicated and would put and nobody cares. It would put everybody asleep, but I am roughly 50% Scottish. Alright, so I'm looking to see if there's any more neat information or trivia on the barrel. So it's 50% alcohol by volume, so that makes it a very sassy and respectable 100 proof. So this is 100 proof. It's very sassy, very, very bold. Just like the temper, the wrath of a beautiful woman, you've got to respect it and be careful. Well, just like the temper of a beautiful woman, you have to be very respectful and very cautious with the 100 or more proof whiskey. That you do. I'm Scottish and I just said that, deal with it. On a random note, this is a time-honored tradition. It looks like the lighting is doing bizarre things. I don't want to knock everything over. Maybe if I move this up, we'll have more lighting. I always struggle with lighting issues out here. There we go. It looks a little better. So yeah, this is a flavor explosion. It's very, very smooth. I do like it a lot. And again, Four Roses, they've been around a long time. Lawrenceburg, Kentucky, they make good stuff. To give this a score for taste, for bang for your buck, for smoothness, for overall quality, and again, a big thanks to my dad. We did a whiskey swap. I gave him my favorite Evan Williams aged 7 years single barrel vintage, which I love, and I've talked about in multiple videos how much I love it on this channel. I gave him that, he gave me this, so we're doing a whiskey swap, so thanks, Dad. But to give this and I believe the price is around, normally most places have this between $71 and $74.99. So if I'm rounding here, it's a little bit under $80. But I would give this probably an 86 to an 88. You know what I'm going to say, ladies and gentlemen? I'm going to give it a solid 89, which is a B+, and it's darn near an A. But I am sticking with the 89. I'm going to give it a B+. It's pretty darn good. and it has those fruit notes. It has the spice, the kind of rye spice. It has some of the pear notes in there. You know, the cinnamon. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. And I think next on the channel, I need to get back into doing some Irish whiskey. It's been over a year around a year roughly, since I've done the Irish whiskey. I've never done a Canadian blended whiskey review on here. And I did a rye whiskey review last week, but I need to start to do more Irish whiskeys, some Canadian blended whiskeys, and some ryes, and then I need to go back to single malts. So I'm pretty ambitious, ladies and gentlemen, for the channel and everything that I have planned for it. And again, my very few but loyal viewers, thank you for watching and tuning in today. This is one of my many hobbies and pastimes. And if you folks have any whiskey recommendations that you would like to see me review, please let me know in the comments section or contact me directly. I'd love to hear from you, and I would love to hear of any ideas of whiskeys you guys would like for me to review. I kind of want to talk about Star Trek, how beautiful my wife is, Stargate SG-1, hockey and bird watching, but guess what? This is not the time or place for that right now. Well, folks, before I wrap up, again, thanks for watching. Please like and please subscribe and share this video. Please share. You know, help spread the word. The good old neighborhood-friendly Scottish whiskey hobbit. I appreciate you guys tuning in. And you know, I always have that saying that I've juxtaposed from I love all the vintage old country from 40, 50, 60 plus years ago. And good old Tom T. Hall and his mid-late 70s Faster Horses. Actually, I think the name of the album, I have it in my vinyl record collection, it's Country Is record, where I quote his song where he says, faster horses, younger women, older whiskey, and more money. I'm going to condense that today. Be a kind human. Just treat everybody the way that you want to be treated. You know, that's what it comes down to. Be kind. Pay your taxes. Be a good and peaceful citizen. Listen to what your wife has to say. And if you're... Okay, I was going to ramble on there. The interesting combination of a bad sinus migraine with whiskey is now affecting me, ladies and gentlemen. Although I can handle my liquor, I cannot handle my caffeine. Just ask my friends, my wonderful friends at the office, my brothers-in-law. They'll tell you, you give Daniel too much caffeine from an Alani energy drink or some coffee, I'm going to be wound up like an 8-day clock, and there's only 7 days in a week. So I can handle my liquor, I can't handle my caffeine, apparently. This is sassy and great. Did you guys hear about the guy that was eating USDA prime ribeyes in a hot air balloon? You could say the stakes were high. That's a good one. I mean, there's another really good joke I have, but I'm forgetting it right now. This is good. I give it a B+. It's very good. Thanks, Dad, for doing the whiskey exchange. There's the bottle. Pretty neat bottle. It's very good. I recommend it. If she's cute, if she's beautiful, treat her like a queen, be loyal to her forever, and take her out to eat at Waffle House. Spare no expense. Let her trick out her hash browns, and you can't beat that all-star special at Waffle House. And you guys know what I'm doing right now? I'm being a Scottish-American redneck. That's exactly what I'm doing right now, and I make no apologies for it, darn it. My supermodel redneck bride and I, she's the best thing to ever happen to me, but we are regulars at 2 of our local Waffle House locations. Man, there's nothing like Waffle House. Alright guys, I'm not really sure why I threw that in there other than the fact that I'm Scottish and I ramble. I'm going to continue to watch my bird feeders, hang out with the stray cats over here that I take care of and try and find forever loving homes for. Gonna read a book and make dinner for the wife and I. Thank you for watching. God bless y'all. Take care. And on a random note, which is the Scottish redneck in me saying, Jesus loves you. Alright guys, this is your neighborhood-friendly Scottish whiskey hobbit. I'm signing out here. I'm legally required, being a Scotsman, to ramble unnecessarily for a good 4 or 5 minutes. It's just a Scottish thing. It's what we do. Be a kind human. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. And as we say in the old country, sláinte.